Latest is we're in negotiations, and negotiations is looking real good. And yeah, hopefully everything's happening. I am in the business of boxing, and sometimes things may fall through at times. But at this moment in time, it's looking very promising. And when it happens, you're looking at the end of the new.
Dick has announced he wants to fight you, Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, one of the greatest of this generation in the heavyweight division. Do you want to fight Usyk? Is that the fight that's in negotiations?
Man, when he said that, in my mind, I already said I accept, but I haven't publicly said it. So I'm gonna look right here in this camera and say, Usyk, I appreciate the opportunity, and I accept.
As Oleksandr Usyk searches for one final monumental showdown to cap his legendary career, significant developments have surfaced from Deontay Wilder, who has disclosed that ongoing discussions for a potential explosive collision are advancing positively and showing genuine promise.
It's over with.
It's a movie anyway, but
boxing is alive again. You understand me? When I beat him, boxing is back open again. You know what I mean? The excitement, the thrill, everything. Everything about it is just back open again. I brought boxing back, and I will do it again. You understand?
Yeah.
I will, and I love that he called me out and stuff like that. And for whatever reason that he won. But at the end of the day, I appreciate him. I appreciate him for the man that he is. I even thanked him for just even thinking of me. You understand?
However, Wilder is far from the only major figure being connected to Usyk's farewell bout, as fresh reports have emerged suggesting the Ukrainian champion is also weighing up a possible encounter with Jon Jones, creating widespread intrigue and fueling intense speculation about which direction the pound-for-pound king will ultimately choose.
The Ring is reporting that Oleksandr Usyk is eyeing a fight against Deontay Wilder or Jon Jones.
Oh!
Later this year in the United States.
Wow.
yeah,
What do we think? Could this be the one?
I think that will not happen.
Wait. He was meeting with Dana White and Nick Khan at the White House.
Amazing.
Is it possible?
Jon Jones is definitely fighting Usyk.
Okay.
Boxing?
No, I don't know. I'm just reading the tweet here. Usyk he's considering Wilder.
I'm either
so the
going
ball's in his
to
court.
be driving by the end of this week my car or a Ferrari. One of those two things is going to happen. I'll update you on which one.
Throughout all this mounting speculation and media attention, Ajit Cabello has found himself pushed toward the margins of the conversation. Yet the undefeated contender remains optimistic and firmly believes that a long-anticipated clash with Usyk could still materialize despite the current uncertainty.
Usyk for the potential fight in Germany, but the problem was, we talk so much, but we have not deal. And when I see the video, I say crazy. He stopped all the belts, and I think this was a finish his career. But in the video, he said we make one fight more. And it is what it is, and we will respect it. For me, what's better when I fight with Usyk, and he's the greatest of all time, the greatest in my division.
Now, with his competitive pathway appearing more defined, Cabello has issued challenges to every significant name in the heavyweight landscape, including Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, and Fabio Wardley, making it abundantly clear that he stands prepared to face whoever steps forward next.
Problem with the guy, I fight everyone, but I think for the German fans, it's maybe the fight with Furies, AJs, and give me one different big name, Fabio Wardley or Daniel Dubois. Interesting. I think he's not dark, but I think for him was only the last fight, and he will finish in his career. He will finish his career, Yet you heard he will fight maybe with Jon Jones or Deontay.
As far as Usyk is concerned, his selection of a final dream opponent holds tremendous significance for his legacy, and pursuing Wilder could represent his strategic method of cementing another fearsome heavyweight legend onto his already extraordinary list of conquered champions.
Saw that coming as a potential opponent.
No, but totally understand it, if I'm honest. Because I think that Oleksandr Usyk has achieved everything you can achieve in boxing. Two-time undisputed world heavyweight champion, undisputed cruiserweight champion. And he's thinking now in years to come when people look back on this modern era, and he has to box Deontay Wilder, who has played a massive part in this era of boxing. And victory over Deontay Wilder would have cleaned up this era. So I totally understand it. And at the stage that he's at right now, Oleksandr Usyk, 38 years of age, and he could sail off into the sunset and go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. But I think adding Deontay Wilder's name to that.
Simultaneously, emerging reports connecting Oleksandr Usyk to a potential crossover battle with Jon Jones have ignited tremendous enthusiasm and debate among combat sports enthusiasts worldwide. Could this truly be the last dance that everyone has been anticipating and discussing across social media platforms? If this unprecedented matchup comes to fruition, it would undoubtedly rank as one of the most monumental crossover spectacles in the entire history of combat sports. While numerous figures within the traditional boxing establishment find it difficult to believe such an event could transition from rumor to reality, others maintain that in today's evolving sports landscape, absolutely anything remains possible. That conviction has only intensified following Usyk's recent public interactions with prominent UFC executives, including Nick Khan and Dana White during the high-profile UFC White House celebration, injecting even greater intrigue and credibility into the swirling speculation surrounding this potential groundbreaking encounter.
That is a
better chance, boxing or MMA?
I guess better chance to win the fight?
No. Better chance of happening.
Neither.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
I don't see
No,
it.
but better chance of happening, I would say MMA, right? Like, I think the UFC would be open to Usyk fighting in MMA.
Meanwhile, confidence continues.
Buzz continues to intensify around the proposed matchup between Usyk and Wilder. From one perspective, Deontay Wilder maintains confidence that the ongoing negotiations are progressing in a favorable direction and could soon culminate in a major public announcement. From another angle, the broader boxing community remains split on the concept. Numerous observers and analysts contend that Usyk's interest in confronting Wilder stems primarily from legacy considerations rather than championship rankings or mandatory obligations. By stepping into the ring with one of the most devastating punchers of the modern heavyweight era, Usyk would append another iconic scalp to an already historic collection of victories. For countless fans and respected analysts alike, that enduring legacy component represents the primary reason this matchup continues building momentum and commanding serious mainstream attention.
Being serious, Paul, I mean, ultimately, we now look at Deontay Wilder through the prism of a rearview mirror. In terms of once upon a time, he was the most feared in terms of punch power, not in terms of technical ability, but in terms of punch power. Do you think he's being serious in what he says there?
I think that the key thing to take from that interview is, and what you got to detract from that, is that he's saying, I love it, and that's his attitude. My brother Callum always mentions Usyk and how he is and his temperament and his attitude, and he did a video or a post recently saying it's not motivation, it's discipline, and that's him. Now I think he's looking at that thinking, for whatever I've got left, I'm going to make sure to make the most of the squeeze out it rather than probably sitting on the sideline.
During a period when Oleksandr Usyk finds himself connected to both Deontay Wilder and Jon Jones as potential adversaries for his concluding competitive statement, certain voices in the boxing world suggest the champion should consider stepping away from the sport entirely. Wade Plemons recently offered his perspective, contending that the present moment might represent the ideal juncture for Usyk to announce his retirement from professional boxing. He highlighted the widespread frustration surrounding the absence of a meaningful fight with Agit Kabayel and other emerging contenders who never received their deserved opportunity to challenge the champion. With Usyk apparently distancing himself from the heavyweight division and relinquishing his championship belts, Plemons asserts that Kabayel must now concentrate on his own professional trajectory and thoughtfully evaluate the next strategic moves in his developing career.
And these younger guys that come up and fight for the belt, they will make their own history. It is a little bittersweet that Usyk got all the belts and didn't defend versus that last generation of killers coming in, but at the same time, he lapped the division. He beat everybody twice, right? Not everybody, but he beat the top guys twice. He beat Dubois twice. He beat Tyson Fury twice. He beat Joshua twice. What else do you want him to do, you know? Outside of give that shot to Kabayel, maybe give that shot to Atama. I knew it wouldn't happen. I knew we would never get Atama versus Usyk. I really, really wanted it, but it is what it is. Like I said, I am happy with this decision from Usyk versus squatting on the belts. One of the biggest things that I see.
Introducing yet another unexpected dimension to the ongoing discussion. Jake Paul has even been floated as a conceivable opponent for Oleksandr Usyk's final professional appearance. Nevertheless, Wade Plemons does not consider that particular matchup to be logical or competitive. From his standpoint, if Jake were to step into the ring with Anthony Joshua, the outcome would be absolutely brutal, and he contends that Usyk could present an even greater threat due to his superior technical skill, exceptional ring movement, and extensive championship experience. Plemons firmly believes the physical punishment Jake could absorb would be utterly devastating and potentially career-ending. He additionally addressed a more systemic concern affecting boxing, mixed martial arts, and combat sports as a whole, insisting that younger fighters must demonstrate patience and earn their championship opportunities by respecting the established hierarchy and waiting their proper turn. According to his assessment, that principled approach is precisely the professional path Usyk has honored throughout his entire distinguished career.
Champion that doesn't fight destroys divisions, especially when you're the unified champ. Undisputed at one point for Usyk. You destroy divisions because no one has any upward mobility. No one can fight because they're just fighting to wait for you to pick who you want to defend against, or for sanctioning bodies to pick when or where they're going to strip you, right? So I'm okay with this. I am perfectly fine with Usyk making this decision. I think it's probably the right one. He's 38 years old. He's got one fight left. Who's it going to be? Like I said, if it's Jake Paul, it doesn't make a ton of sense for Jake because Usyk still has stopping power, and you just had jaw rearrangement surgery versus a worse boxer. What do you think Usyk's going to do to you? You know, if it's Rico, all right, cool, but it should have been for the belt like that.
Meanwhile, as Agit Kabedklo persists in publicly challenging prominent names including Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Fabio Wardley, and Daniel Dubois, there exists one dangerous contender he seems to be conspicuously overlooking in his call-out campaign. That fighter is Filip Hrgović, and the formidable Croatian heavyweight has absolutely no intention of remaining silent about being ignored. Hrgović recently delivered a direct and menacing warning aimed squarely at Kabedklo, making his intentions crystal clear that he wants the fight immediately and firmly believes he possesses the technical tools and physical power to completely dominate the matchup from opening bell to final round. In a characteristically bold public statement, he emphatically declared, "I will destroy him," transmitting an unmistakably strong message to the undefeated contender. With competitive tensions escalating and both powerful heavyweights actively seeking to secure a career-defining opportunity, Hrgović remains absolutely determined to demonstrate he is the legitimate fighter capable of bringing Kabedklo's unbeaten momentum to an abrupt and conclusive end.
Tonight, what do you think happens if you fight Agit Kabedklo?
I think I'll destroy him. I think I'll beat him. He's a tough guy, and I'm a tough guy. I think it will be a great fight, and I was looking forward to do that in April, but like I said, he got a big cut, so I think April is not...
Now that Deontay Wilder has publicly confirmed that negotiations for a potential showdown with Oleksandr Usyk are advancing smoothly, additional specific details are starting to surface regarding the event's structure and promotional backing. According to boxing insider Ade Oladipo, the spectacular event could potentially take place under Dana White's newly established TKO boxing promotional banner, injecting even greater intrigue and mainstream crossover appeal into the developing situation. Alongside several other significant fights currently being discussed behind closed doors, Usyk vs. Wilder is reportedly among the premier matchups receiving serious consideration for the inaugural major card. In Ade's professional assessment, the fight makes tremendous business sense because both elite fighters command strong, loyal fan followings and possess proven track records as major pay-per-view attractions. Their legendary names alone could generate absolutely massive international interest, positioning it as one of the biggest drawing attractions for a promotional card specifically designed to deliver record-breaking attendance figures and capture sustained global media attention.
Making some noise, a lot of noise. When you think of sort of TKO boxing and what Dana White's trying to do, and how that's just gone flat, right? I mean, the event will be at the Apex. The attendance of the Apex, by the way, is around 1,000 people. And one of the main events will be Charles Martin versus F.A. Jagba. These lot, one of their main events, the one that we're hearing they want to do, is Oleksandr Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. Now, say what you want about that matchup, and we'll get to that in a minute. That's making a splash. That's making noise.
Beyond simply exciting, passionate fight fans worldwide, this monumental matchup could also prove hugely consequential for the promotional company helping orchestrate and deliver it to the public. Ade Oladipo revealed that the specific promotional outfit involved in these negotiations is IVB Boxing, a relatively new promotional entity that was officially launched in 2025, for a promotion still working to establish its credibility and foothold in the intensely competitive professional boxing landscape. Successfully securing a fight of this extraordinary magnitude would represent a massive industry statement, a potential championship-level clash between Oleksandr Usyk and Deontay Wilder would instantly thrust the company into the international spotlight and attract unprecedented worldwide media attention and commercial partnerships.
Because there is a press conference in San Francisco today, and again, I believe the announcement will be Oleksandr Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. Another thing, in terms of where this will be shown, I'm hearing it's YouTube. YouTube, 12 events a year. The big events will be on YouTube pay-per-view. YouTube have done pay-per-view before. I'm old enough, not old enough, but I remember Huey Fury versus Joseph Parker. Do you guys remember that? That was on YouTube. I think it was a $5. And YouTube have the numbers. I mean, it's a weird space now, boxing. Obviously, Netflix have got involved. YouTube have got involved. Amazon Prime have got involved. It's a very weird space. And it's even weirder when you think like Top Rank don't have a deal right now.
Adding further substance to the mounting excitement, Adeto Oladipo also explored how the modern broadcasting landscape continues evolving rapidly, based on credible information he has recently received from industry sources. The proposed Oleksandr Usyk versus Deontay Wilder spectacular event is being strategically planned for distribution via a YouTube pay-per-view streaming platform, a progressive distribution move that could make the highly anticipated fight significantly more accessible to a diverse global audience spanning multiple continents. Adet explained that contemporary broadcasting models are transforming at an unprecedented pace, with forward-thinking promoters actively exploring innovative distribution methods to reach dedicated fans directly without traditional cable television gatekeepers. He also suggested that critical developments occurring behind closed doors are progressing rapidly, and that an official public announcement confirming all details could arrive considerably sooner rather than later. If that timeline proves accurate, passionate boxing fans may not have to endure much longer waiting to learn definitively whether this genuine blockbuster showdown is transitioning from speculation to confirmed reality.
Because there is a press conference in San Francisco today, and again, I believe the announcement will be Oleksandr Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. Another thing, in terms of where this will be shown, I'm hearing it's YouTube. YouTube, 12 events a year. The big events will be on YouTube pay-per-view. YouTube have done pay-per-view before. I'm old enough, not old enough, but I remember Huey Fury versus Joseph Parker. Do you guys remember that? That was on YouTube. I think it was a $5. And YouTube have the numbers. I mean, it's a weird space now, boxing. Obviously, Netflix have got involved. YouTube have got involved. Amazon Prime have got involved. It's a very weird space. And it's even weirder when you think like Top Rank don't have a deal right now.
Speaking directly on the proposed matchup's merit, respected boxing journalist Gareth A. Davis explained comprehensively why a fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Deontay Wilder continues making profound sense from both competitive and historical perspectives. According to Davis, numerous legendary fighters throughout boxing history, including Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Roy Jones Jr., deliberately chose to close significant chapters of their illustrious careers against major recognizable names rather than mandatory challengers. He believes Usyk is consciously following a remarkably similar traditional path by actively pursuing Wilder for his final professional appearance. Despite experiencing recent competitive setbacks and consecutive losses, Wilder's fearsome reputation as one of the most dangerously explosive punchers in modern heavyweight boxing history remains fundamentally intact among fans and fellow fighters. For Davis, facing a legendary power puncher of that exceptional caliber would represent Usyk's strategic method of concluding his championship era with a memorable and dramatically compelling final battle that passionate boxing fans would never forget and would discuss for generations.
About the World Boxing Council that you go back in time and, you know, Muhammad Ali fought Floyd Patterson twice, Mike Tyson fought Larry Holmes, and with all of these, for the great fighters, for the great heavyweights, at least in this case, and you could say the same at light heavyweight with Joe Calzaghe and Roy Jones Jr., people like to bookend an era. They like to close off an era. You know, you've already said it, I've said it myself, that there's that expression we use in boxing that the fact that Oleksandr Usyk's beaten Daniel Dubois twice, once in Poland and once here, and he kind of crossed the T's and dotted the I's on that one in that second fight quite brilliantly.
Amid persistent, ongoing reports continuously linking Oleksandr Usyk to a potential crossover fight with Jon Jones, the specific matchup that appears to generate the most sustained interest and commercial appeal remains decisively Deontay Wilder. Much of that overwhelming preference stems from Wilder's extensive boxing background and the considerable mainstream appeal he continues carrying within the traditional sport, despite recent defeats. Many knowledgeable observers believe he represents the most fitting and historically appropriate opponent for Usyk's final competitive chapter. While certain critics actively question the strategic decision to pursue Wilder rather than younger emerging contenders, others persuasively argue that Usyk has absolutely earned the professional right to select any opponent he personally desires after years of facing mandatory challengers. His entire distinguished career has been consistently defined by willingly taking on the toughest available challenges and delivering the exceptional championship performances fans desperately hope to witness. A dramatic final showdown against one of the hardest documented punchers in heavyweight boxing history would provide a cinematically dramatic and permanently memorable ending to his truly remarkable professional journey.
Thought, you know what? I'm going to ask the WBC if I can get Deontay Wilder in the ring, and it's to our point of earlier. He's having a fight off. There are risks. Wilder's still got power, but he can't pull the trigger. This is an ending of the era fight for him. It may well, in my view, be his last fight.
Yeah. Do you know something, from an Oleksandr Usyk point of view, I've absolutely no problem with him choosing whatever he wants to do. I think he's absolutely earned the right, and this might be counterintuitive to all the things that I normally say about boxing, but Oleksandr Usyk is that unicorn that has turned up. He has given us everything that we've ever asked of him. He's given us 2 undisputed fights with Tyson Fury. He's beaten Anthony Joshua on 2 occasions, and as you've just pointed out, he's beaten Daniel Dubois on 2 occasions.
And with serious negotiations gaining undeniable momentum, fresh specific details continuing to emerge almost daily, and multiple major heavyweight names actively circling Usyk's final competitive chapter, the countdown toward an official announcement may have already quietly begun behind closed promotional doors. Will it ultimately be Deontay Wilder, Jon Jones, or perhaps a complete surprise name that eventually receives the coveted call for the highly anticipated last dance that closes Usyk's legendary career? One thing remains absolutely certain regardless of the final decision: the entire boxing world is watching these developments extremely closely with intense anticipation. Drop your personal prediction in the comments section below regarding who should be Usyk's final opponent, and if you genuinely enjoyed this comprehensive video breakdown, make absolutely sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss the latest breaking boxing updates and exclusive insider information.